welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And this is my weekly update number 91. And when you see this video, it's December 15th, 2024 is when I'll be releasing. I'm actually recording the night before just because I have a lot of other things going on right now, as do a lot of people with the holidays. So in my world, it's December 14th, but this will be released on December 15th. So what did I do this week? Well, I quilted a quilt top. I finished another quilt top, and I worked on, I also finished my diamond painting, and I worked on many other things. So this quilt behind me is what was on the long arm this week, and it is quilted with this snowflake pantograph. We'll go in and take a closer look at it here in just a second. I think I finished this quilt, the quilt top anyway, sometime last year, I'm not sure, but I just got it quilted. And this pattern comes from this free pattern, Snowy Friends, right down here. Now, this was a free pattern that I found off the internet, and obviously I did not use that panel or those fabrics, but a pattern is just a suggestion anyway. You can use whatever fabrics you want, you can make whatever changes you want, and go from there. I used the same pattern, it's just I changed the fabrics. I think the panel I had to cut down a little bit because I think it was wider than what the panel was there, but that's okay. All right, let's go in, take a closer look at everything. So I'm starting at the top and we're working our way down. Like I said, it has a snowflake pantograph on it. You can start to see some of those snowflakes in there. Now, when I quilted this with a very dark gray thread. I don't think that was the best choice, but I knew the dark gray would hide in the black because some of the quilt has black and the backing is black. I'll flip it over and we can take a look at the back. And there's a look at the back, and that thread definitely blends in there. Okay, now as I was saying, I had used a dark gray thread when quilting that, and it shows up in that white space. I was looking, I wanted to use a gray thread, and I looked at a light gray thread, and it just showed up way too much in the blacks and up there. So I wanted to use a medium gray. I couldn't find a medium gray, so I went with the dark gray. Then after I started quilting, I found the medium gray. But I already started, so I just went with it. But when you're looking back at it, I guess it's not too noticeable. But that dark gray thread almost comes off as black. But that is the quilt. I quilted on the long arm. I still have to do the binding. So I still have to do the binding, and I hope to get the binding done sometime this week. And then I can put that in my trunk show I plan on releasing on Christmas Day. So, all right. What else did I work on this week? Well, I finished this Sail Away quilt pattern from a Sew Sample box from, well, a couple years ago now. Now, this is not a very big quilt. It's only 36.5 by 36.5, so I'm not going to hang it up, because if I hung it up, you probably wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So, let me unfold it here. There's the top. And there's what it looks like. All right. And it's blue, so you know I like it. All right. So what else did I work on? Well, I worked on a few other quilt projects. Let me get them and I'll show them to you. So my 3-yard quilts. I had shown I'd got that batik snowman and some snowflake batiks and things to make a 3-yard quilt. And I'm working on it, and I'm working on making this pattern back here with it. Well, I have all the blocks made. Now I just have to assemble them and then add some borders. So here are basically the 2 blocks this quilt consists of. There's 1 block. There's a few of them here. That's the 1 block. And this is the other block. So now I just have to assemble that into rows and columns and sew that all together. And the center of the quilt will be done, and then I just need to add some borders. So I worked on that. Other quilt projects. Well, my Creative Notions quilt subscription box I used to get. I've been working on this star and a square table topper wall hanging. So here's where I am here. I basically just have to add the flying geese borders is where I'm at. So here's this. As you can see, I've got the side borders pinned on. So I need to sew that and then add the top border. But there is that. I think that's very cute. Maybe I'll have it finished by Valentine's Day. We'll see. Well, hopefully I'll have the top done by then. All right. And then let's see what else we worked on. Another Creative Notions project. I worked on this chain length quilt. Sorry, my daughter was texting me. I just got a text up there I was looking at. So I have made, well, here's these blocks. Now, they're just pinned together in like a 9-patch form, as you can see, so I still have to sew those. So after I finish sewing those, then I have to like put little stitch and flips or snowball all 4 of the corners, and then I can start putting those together on point, because it is an on point quilt. So I have all of those blocks. Oops. With that. All right, so I worked on those. And let me get the other 2 projects I worked on, which were sew sampler projects. Okay, since I finished that one sew sampler box, I started on the next, which this is the pattern. And this is only a 38 by 49 and a half. They did have a bigger size there. However, I didn't have another layer cake. I mean, I could have, but I decided we'll go with the smaller size, even though I prefer bigger quilts. But since I just cut it out, I got everything cut out, the first steps pinned together, ready to sew. So I worked on that. And just because I like to see where we're at, this is the September 2022 box. I tend to do all of my sew sampler boxes and Creative Notion boxes in order. So I'm a little over 2 years behind still. It doesn't seem to make much progress. Maybe it's because I do too many other things. I don't know. Alright, then I also worked on this winding path quilt pattern, which is a sew sampler box. Now this used a Tula Pink line. What was it? Tiny Beast. And here's where I am. I basically have those pinned together to pull open to make those blocks. Actually, that's the top, that's the bottom. So I have all of those pinned, ready to sew to make that quilt right there when it's done. Okay. So I think that's everything I worked on as far as quilting goes. Now we'll go on to my cross stitch. Let me put those up. Doesn't really seem like I made a lot of progress in cross stitch this week, but that's okay. I am working on the Simply Saying May, and this says Live Life in Full Bloom. I am doing all of these and in order, so I'm working on May. I've already done January, February, March, and April. And here's where I am on that. Now, my crochet project. Let me show you the picture. Okay, here is this progressive tunic I'm working on. First of all, this is from the Curvy Girl Crochet magazine by Mary Beth Temple. And this is what I'm working. Now, I am not doing stripes. I am holding 2 crochet threads together to make this. So it's going to be all one like marbly color because I'm using 2 different shades of gray. Now, I'd previously shown you the back, and I'm working on the front. And, you know, we're working on the front. I'm almost to where I can split for the armholes. Not quite there yet. Or start decreasing for the armholes, I should say. But I did discover last week I thought I had made a mistake on the back and I don't think I did enough rows. Well, that is true. I didn't. So here we go. Where the armholes are for this, I am missing about 20-ish rows. I left out a whole section. So after I do the front, I'm going to have to rework this back. And yeah, so it's okay. It's only time. It'll be all right. So there's that. If that's the worst thing that happened this week, we'll be okay, right? Actually, I think it might have been. It's been a good week. All right. And my diamond painting. I finished my diamond painting, so let me show you that. It's all done. This is 4th of July from Craftably. And it's big. Now, Craftably was a diamond painting company here in the United States. I think they were in Texas. However, they are no longer in business. So they are out of business. I had bought several diamond paintings when I started diamond painting. So I have them just lined up, ready to go. I don't think I've bought a diamond painting in 2 years, maybe longer than that. But I do have a lot backed up that I work on. All right. So that's everything I worked on this week. Let me know in the comments down below what you're working on. All right. Till next time. Bye.